friends, welcome back to my channel. This is going to be just a very quick little kind of first impressions, initial impressions video for the Wandering Moon Tarot, which has just arrived last week. And I think it's a really beautiful deck. And I know a lot of people were waiting for this one. I don't know if everybody got in through like the Kickstarter / pre-order. So I thought I would show it off if anybody's kind of on the fence about whether they want to get it or not. It comes in a sturdy 2-part box, and all throughout this deck there are little details, little iridescence on the outside of the box, on the inside of the box, on the book, and on the deck itself. So it does really sparkle. It's very pretty. The box is like a matte, like kind of like a rose. It almost feels like a rose petal finish. It does pick up fingerprints, so I don't know how long it's gonna stay looking beautiful, but it does look very nice. The book is a small book that fits in the box, but it's a little more substantial than a regular kind of little white book. And one of the things that I loved so much when I first opened this up is that this book, this creator, an artist, has gone into detail about the artwork in each card. We need to, as a community, I hate to say the word demand, but normalize this. We need to normalize creators and artists talking about the symbolism that they put into their artwork, because there's things that you pick up on your own as you go through, and that's fantastic, but there's always things that you might miss. I love hearing the artist's perspective, and it doesn't always have to be a giant guidebook to do that. Now, this is done here for every single card, even the minors. So there's some background information about the deck, there's some tarot spreads, and then it goes right into the majors. You get a little paragraph, you get an upright meaning, and you get a reverse meaning. Then you also get one little page that just gives you information about the artwork. I just find this type of thing so useful and helpful. And again, it doesn't have to be pages and pages of information. This is very compact still, and gives, I think it gives people who want that information a little bit more to go off of as they're looking at the artwork. So when you get into the minors, again, it's the same thing. You've got a paragraph, upright, reversed in the minors, and then you've got the page about the artwork. So yeah, I really, really would love to see more of this type of thing. I really think it's wonderful. So got information about the writers, Rachel Jean, Marion Kirk. And then it's even got like a reading list, 78 Degrees of Wisdom, classic by Rachel Pollack, and some other books, little thank you page. So it's really, really well done, and still fits inside the box, and you can take it with you wherever you go. Now, the cards have this, I hope the camera is, I think the camera is picking this up. I hope the camera can pick up that edging on the cards. I've kind of gotten away from really wanting cards to be edged when they arrive. I really like to put my own edging on cards for the most part, but I gotta say, I don't know how this is gonna hold up, but it is beautifully done. This iridescent, I mean, that is magical. On the back of the cards, you have some iridescence, and then the cards themselves are these beautiful black and white drawings. I saw this deck, I don't even know how long ago. I only saw a few cards, and I really fell in love with the artwork. I'm not going to do a complete walkthrough on this. This is just meant to be quick. There are other walkthroughs. This is, I don't know if I'd call it a true matte finish, but it's definitely not shiny. It's not glossy. Interestingly, the text itself, again, I don't know if the camera's going to pick that up, but the text itself actually is kind of like a glossy ink. But the artwork itself up here is, you know, kind of a you know, I would say somewhat standard, maybe leaning a little more matte. Very pretty. I think this deck would be wonderful for introspective type readings. I don't know that I would so much use it to read for other people, and I don't know that I would use it to read for every circumstance, but I think this will have a lot of value. One thing that messes me up is you have stars, moons, whoops, you have wands, and apparently that's it. Wow. Good Lord, where are all the other cards? This is getting really, really weird. I'm like, there they are, the swords. Lord. You have the swords, wands, and instead of cups and pentacles, you have moons and stars. And I guess one thing that I'm struggling with is I think the moons are supposed to be the cups, and the stars are supposed to be the pentacles, which it seems to me like that would be opposite. And even though I got this deck in a week ago, I haven't really had a lot of chance to, you know, mess with it and play with it and really work with it yet. That's why I'm not doing like a full-on review. It's just kind of initial impressions and, you know, kind of talking through just a little bit of, you know, what I think is really lovely about it. This is not a cardstock that I really enjoy. It's very thick. It doesn't bend well. Maybe if you had larger hands, it would maybe be a little easier for you. I'm not able to really do a good rifle shuffle. It's not that great, but you know, I still think it has a lot of value. This is going to be an overhand, and whenever I overhand, I'm always worried about messing up the edging, because you're smacking cards down into the pile below, and I'm always hitting the edges, and then I'm always afraid that I'm gonna, you know, kind of mess up that edging. However, I do think this deck has a lot of value. I think that the artwork is really beautiful. I think this could probably be read fairly intuitively. And I think that there's, even though that book, like I said, is not like a big giant guidebook, there's really a lot of great information within that little book. They just condensed it a bit, and I think it's really lovely. So if you were thinking about this deck, I believe there are going to be copies available on the artist website, which I will link. And you know, I think this one, I think this is, again, this is just for me going to be one that I use maybe with you know, like personal growth type of readings, like things, you know, about myself, like where I want to go, more so than maybe day-to-day, everyday readings. I'm sure you could use it that way, but when I'm going through it and looking at it, like, to me, it speaks to a different type of reading. And so that's where I'm planning to go with it. But you know, in a way, it feels kind of like a special deck. Maybe, like, to me, it feels like a deck that maybe I wouldn't bring out every single day. It feels to me like a deck that, you know, would be maybe for special occasions or only for certain types of things. So thanks so much for stopping by. I did do at least a reading or two on my Instagram with this one. I think when it first came in, it'll be in, you know, kind of a rotation here and there once in a while, but just not all the time. If you have any questions, please leave them below, and have an absolutely fantastic day.